The countdown get to us, and we'll let everybody get in here and get ready for a Wednesday. What is this? The 11th of March. We got a lot going on, so we'll wait here and see that the audio is working, and we'll get rolling right along. Let everybody get in here on Explorers Expresso. Glad you're along. We'll pop up here in a moment. Just check. We always check the audio, right? That's our first thing we do, right? We always make sure that I can hear good old DV, and I get to see Jason out there already early. Let's see. Do I hear myself? There I do. I hear myself. That's good news. So I hear myself. That's good news. We got breaking news. I got a loaded show. You know what we're gonna do? I'm just gonna jump right into it. Let's jump right into it. Let's play the open in three, two, one. Here we go.
Well, it's baseball time in Siouxland once again. The Explorers are out to bring home another win. And when they take the field, they'll be hitting and running and stealing. So come out to the park for that big league good time feeling. Well, it's baseball Sioux City style. Baseball Sioux City style. Gonna conquer the league. Hold on to the seat. The Explorers just.
All right. You guys didn't come to hear me sing, did you? No, you didn't. So we fade down the music here on this Wednesday. Just in case you're counting, 65 days to first pitch there in Chicagoland. That's how many days we are getting close to the 50-day mark. We're getting there, man. We're getting there. Glad you're along. I'm Dan Vaughn, voice of the Sioux City Explorers. Glad you're along on this Wednesday, wherever you are watching us worldwide on Facebook Live, also on Instagram Live. Glad you're along. I mentioned a moment ago we got breaking news, and let's just jump right into it. You may have seen this. You may not have, but if you did see it a moment ago, there's been a major breaking news day. Now, first off, before I jump into that, today's show. Now, originally the plan was Steve Montgomery would join me right about 5 minutes from now. We jump right into the hot stove. We had some updates the last couple of weeks, how the roster is going, the normal kind of early March, right? But uh, uh, Robbie jumps in and already in World Baseball Classic, which is my question for you in a moment. That's my question of the day coming in a moment. But Robbie chiming in, USA looked like Solana Stockade last night. Yeah, they did. Eee. Don't even get me started on DeRosa not knowing the tiebreaker, and we'll get to all that in a moment. We'll get to the WBC a bit as later on. Steve Montgomery will join us about 12:40. So we got Mongo coming on. We will update the hot stove. A couple of really good signings yesterday. I talked to Mongo at length last night, and I was fired up this time last year. I got to tell you, man, I am fired up this time this year, even more so with the roster going forward. Question of the day before we get to the breaking news, and just quickly, is Team USA fun to watch? You guys enjoying Team USA? That was a miserable performance last night. And if you are watching Team USA, are you hopeful they can actually pull off the win and go on, or actually the win, but break the tiebreaker? But are they fun to watch? I'm going to get to that in a moment, but I want to get the breaking news first. You may have seen this already on the website. I think it was on the website about 5 minutes ago. I sent a press release out about 15 minutes ago. But the X's have a new general manager, vice president, and general manager, Travis Lee. Some of you may know Travis. He is a local product from just up the road, makes his home in Siouxland. A guy that is from South Dakota, did his undergraduate work at Dakota State, graduate work down at Lincoln. He's a guy that you may be familiar with. Has got a lengthy track record of sales and marketing and leadership in our community. And Travis is taking over today. Welcome, Travis. And we are actually going to have Travis on in about 5 minutes. He's going to join us. We're going to introduce you to Travis. If you don't know Travis Lee, I think you're going to enjoy the conversation. He's a fired up guy. I think of the X's, and I'm in the middle right now of interviewing number two assistants, whatever you want to call them, for the season. And the thing I get all the time is, why are you in Sioux City? What brings you back? Why do you love it so much? Because it's clearly obvious. I love Sioux City. I love the X's. It's in my blood, right? So it's part of it. Well, I can tell you the thing I always say, and I talk about this a lot in the air. We talk about this a lot. It's passion. The X's have passion. If you know Steve Montgomery, passion, right? Our owner John, passion. I mean, we have a passionate bunch. Bobby Post, the field staff, the players. We have guys that are still explorers who've been retired 10 years. It's a passionate bunch, and I think you're going to find Travis to be a passionate fellow as well. We're going to chat with him a bit later. Now, the question is, what happened to Tom Backmeyer? Tom Backmeyer is taking another job in baseball. He's actually getting a major step up. The details have not been announced yet, but he's taking another job in baseball. Tom, who's been great to me and great to us. We'll talk about him a bit later on. But Tom Backmeyer is moving on. He's still staying in baseball, but he's got a pretty big situation brewing right now. And looking forward to following him from a distance. But we'll talk a bit about that later on. I think Manga's got some hot baseball opinions about that as well. I think you can safely say uh, we have players chasing their major league dreams. We have front office folks that sometimes chase their major league dreams as well. So there's that. Robbie says very poorly managed on the WBC. You can have Kershaw warming up when you have a Miller out there who hasn't pitched yet at that point. Harper and Bregman not being in the lineup is brain numbing. Before we get to Travis, and let's get back to the question of the day, because I'm kind of bouncing around a little bit here. And Robbie says, we met him at the outdoor show. Seemed like an awesome guy. I think you're going to like him. I love Tom to death. Tom has been great for us, and I think you're going to love Travis. He is, again, there's something he and I are going to talk about that I don't know if he's going to. He doesn't know I'm going to ask him this, but I'm going to ask him something that he and I share in common. That's a little thing I noticed in our emails back and forth. I'll get to that in a moment. On the World Baseball Classic front, of course, front and center, and we'll get to Travis in just a moment. But my question is, why the Team USA seems sort of stale, right? If you watch the Dominican Republic, they do all kinds of crazy celebrations. If you watch any of the games in Japan, the Taiwan had 40,000 fans come over, crossed the sea there, and went over to see Japan and came over to Japan to watch Taiwan, not qualify to the next round, but did play. 40,000 fans made the trip by some estimates. The Australia story was great. If you watch that story and that unfolding, the excitement. Mexico has a little pep in their step. Puerto Rico and that Dominican Republic match was great to watch. There seems to be energy in the whole thing, right? Italy seemed to be into it. Team USA sort of seems very much like I don't know. They're sort of like looking at their watch, like how much more time? It's Friday. I want to get out of here. Happy hour is waiting. I don't want to be here. And that's my take. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Is Team USA just not fun? Because I think some of the baseball in general has not been fun in general. Now, at our level, it is fun. And a guy I'm going to bring on right now to talk about the fun, because I think it segues perfectly to what we're going to talk about here, is baseball being fun. We talk about the Savannah Bananas, all that going on. We talk about the celebrations in the World Baseball Classic with the Dominican Republic, other teams, what they're doing. Seeing whole teams come out and salute the crowd, much like a soccer match. It's a fun game, and maybe Team USA, perhaps, has lost the way. So I will ask that question to y'all: is Team USA fun? But a guy I do know is going to be fun. He's going to be excited to join us right now. I know he is. Travis Lee, our new Vice President, General Manager. Let me bring the graphic down there and so I can see your smiling face. Travis, no stranger to Siouxland. Welcome. Day one, I suppose. Hit the ground running.
Yeah, officially, it's been here, behind the scenes for about 10 days or so, but today it's official. So excited to be here. I am a native of Greater Siouxland. Grew up in Viborg, South Dakota, about an hour north of here. And, I've been directly in this Siouxland area for the last 2 years, but I'll let you ask the questions, talk about that. But yes, so excited to bring some new ideas, energy. I'm just really excited to, get the ball rolling with the community here and get to know the season ticket holders, the fans, and really just my job is to enhance what's already been done. I mean, I want to enhance the great atmosphere that's already been established by Tom and Emily and Emma and of course with Mongo, and just really do what I can to enhance that from a entertainment perspective, game atmosphere, fan experience.
I I don't think you and I are gonna have too much with trouble conversing because I think we're both very. And I think I text you and message you this too. Mongo's a passionate guy. I'm a passionate guy. Owner John's a passionate guy. We're all pretty fired up about being around.
Yep.
Despite that, it's been a whirlwind for you. I mean, you all of a sudden, boom, just a few days ago. How's that been like? I mean, your hair been on fire?
Yeah, it used to be really long, but
Very
yeah,
80s look, right? Very 80s look.
yes, for sure. So, yeah, the good thing is with Tom Backemeyer here, done a tremendous job for the last 3+ years. The nice thing about him, and first of all, congratulations. I'm not going to get into where he's going because I don't know if that's
Right.
been announced, but he's taken another great opportunity within baseball. I'll leave it at that for now. But he's been able to be here and help me through the transition, and he'll be here at least another couple weeks, maybe 3 weeks. So it's really helped. From the logistics side, there's a lot of things behind the scenes. Like where do you find this? Where do you find that? What how's this recorded? Where's this? Where's the spreadsheet for this or that or the various software? So that's been tremendously helpful. I will tell you, typically these type of jobs the turnover tends to happen in the October, November timeframe. So, after a season is completed and then you have time to kind of ramp up. So that's been a little bit unique with the timing. But again, having Tom Backemeyer here, at least for a couple more weeks, tremendous help. Dan, you've been very helpful already. Love the energy, by the way. And then certainly Mongo been here going on, I believe, 14 years. As well as our other staff we'll talk about shortly too with Emily and Emma. So, and of course, I really have to go on and say this publicly. Thank you so much to owner John Roost for believing in me. And I will give you just a little background. So this was out of the blue. I got a phone call. I don't know, it's a couple of weeks, give or take now. I literally was coming out of out of a meeting from my previous job, and I had a missed call. I'm like, what's this about? So, but long story short, I've known John Roos for 15+ years when I worked for the Coyote Sports Properties, which was the kind of the marketing sponsorship arm for University of South Dakota Athletics with Roosters Harley Davidson. So they were a partner of ours at USD Athletics, and the main thing they're known for was leading the football team out onto the field with the Harley. So, but yeah, I've known John for quite some time, and I think that's what really brought a comfort level and ease to me, as well as just my background in minor league and college athletics, and 25+ years in sales and marketing. So I'll let you ask whatever you want related to my background.
I want to parlay that storyline, the South Dakota connection from Vermilion with the Coyotes. Obviously locally working in some TV as well. Does that change your approach when you take over a gig like this? I would think it would have to in some form or fashion. You're not jumping into a place. I'm looking for the zip code. You know the place.
Yeah. So that's beautiful. Like I've already gone on a few sponsor meetings with Tom, and it's nice to know like what part of town it's in, what street you need to take, and in fact, in some of the times I actually already know the person. That makes it even easier. Just had a meeting this morning with a client of someone that I know via a family member. So that makes it a lot smoother, and I think it's going to make the conversations easier. And that's why I want to put the people at ease that are on here now. Some of our fans, like, hey, I have a lot of background in this, and I know I gotta do one of these, but my career started actually back in '93 when the Northern League started up, and the Explorers were part of it. But I was on the other side of the fence with the Sioux Falls Canaries. So I was with the Canaries from '93 to '96. And then I worked in sports radio for about a year. And then the new hockey team came to town. Again, the bad side of the tracks now, the Sioux Falls Stampede. So for those Musketeers fans out there, but hey, believe me, I've converted. That paycheck ended a long time ago. So, I'd loved I was able to dig out my red stuff and black stuff that, I used to be able to wear when I was with the working for USC Athletics. So.
I get it, man. I get that. Having been jumped over from Kansas City. The show is Explorers Expresso. I'm Dan Vaughn. Travis Lee, our new Vice President and General Manager, joining us here on this March 11th edition. Mongo will be on a little bit later to get the hot stove update. We're kind of pivoting here because this is breaking news. Uh,
Yep.
it's been working on behind the scenes, and we want to get this to you guys. And again, I think what Travis has said that I'd want to reemphasize is that this is really business as usual. This is a positive win-win for everybody, for Tom, for you, everybody. We're all fired up about it, and just gonna add to what we're doing already. Um, Looking back on your history, you've been in sports, you've been out of sports, in sports, out of sports. What brought you back to sports?
Well, it's my passion. Sports in general, basically combining sports and marketing. That's Travis's unofficial middle name right there. um,
Travis Marketing Sports Lee.
yeah. So yeah. Again, to kind of summarize a little bit of an audio resume, going way back with the Canaries at their startup, the Stampede hockey team, their startup. I actually moved to Texas in another junior A hockey team. They were called the Central Texas Blackhawks. So similar to the Musketeers and the Stampede, different league, but it was junior A. That was the second year of that operation when I got down there, but they had some issues. But that, unfortunately, at that time, the ownership group decided they weren't going to keep moving forward. But I wanted to stay in Texas for a while. And I ended up doing pharmaceutical sales for about 7 years in the greater Waco area. I lived kind of between Waco and Austin. Yes, before you ask, yes, I used to drive by on my route every 3 weeks, the old David Koresh building that used to be there. So I was there 10 years after that started. So, uh,
Yes.
but I'd go north for that. And then I lived right across, right down the street from Fort Hood Army Base. I always joked I was one of 3 people not in the Army from that area. Um, but it was great because everybody wanted to get to know you right away because they didn't know if they were going to be moving in, 6 months or a year or whatever. And then I also played age division baseball myself, not softball, real life baseball, down in Austin, Texas, which is about an hour drive for me. I started playing, 35 and over, and then I was whatever, I don't know the age groups, and then it was 38 and then 40 something. But that is a little fun fact I want to add in here. I still play competitive baseball. I actually co-managed the local town team in Elk Point, the Elk Point Colt 45s, named after the old major league team, which of course we now know as the Astros. And then that's mostly a managing gig because we got a lot of stud college age guys. And another thing I like to tell people, like South Dakota amateur baseball is age 19 and over, and I'm over. So
Now, this is here on Explorers Expresso, outside the box thinking here, Travis. But JD Scholten came out of retirement, and what if we get shorthanded sometime in July? Could you fill in for an evening somewhere on the mound? I mean, if Mongo said, "Look, I need you to play right," or maybe first base.
first base is my
Could you do?
my real gig.
Could we set something up there for you?
Yeah, I am. That's my real gig. First base. I will tell you though, so in Elk Point, it's primarily first base. But when I go to play, I still like to play in Florida in the Roy Hobbs World Series, and I actually have 3 championship rings from down there in Fort Myers. And there I play outfield because for an old guy, I'm fast. Playing with the young guys, not so much. But
I know that feeling because I've actually, and there's 2 things we're going to talk about when we see each other face to face. One, Fort Hood, because I got a lot of my great grandmother used to go to the bingo halls back in the day when they were back in the old days.
wow.
Number 2, I played in what they call Masters League in Australia, so I was the fastest over 40 guy for a while because there's a rule there: if the ball's hit a pop fly in the outfield, you can only get
Yeah.
2 bases because no one ever catches it because no one ever gets no ball. So it's like you can only go 2 bases. But the best thing about the whole, and I've talked about this on the air, the Masters League in Australia, it's $2 beers on those nights, so it's always a big deal. Big crowds, but they watch a bunch of old guys run under fly balls and only get 2 bases because you can't go past the 2 bases. So
Right. That's
there's
awesome.
that mixed in. And here at Explorers Expresso, Dan Vaughn with you, our brand new general manager, vice president, general manager Travis Lee here. Couple of things. What can fans expect to be your calling card as for the X's front office this year? I mean, everybody has a unique thing in the department. What's your calling card? You mentioned marketing, but outside of that, but what can fans see from you?
I think you're going to see a lot of energy. I think that's probably my calling card. Um, uh, that's energy and just relationship building. That's gotten me a long way in this business. And on the heels of a relationship building is being genuine. Like I want people to come and talk to me, shake my hand, and I'm just a everyday common guy with a cool job, honestly. So I think that energy, relationship building, and then you're going to see a few quirky, zany things. We're really kind of just getting into that now of trying to create additional in-game promotions. One of the first things before I think signed the agreement to work here, like I was having so many ideas. I had to have a notepad by my bed. Um, uh, and then, or I'd start emailing myself in the middle of the night with some ideas. And one of the things that popped in my head, and I don't have this perfected yet, instead of everyone's heard of the ABCs of something. So I came up in my mind goes, oh no, it's got to be the XYZs of baseball. Like, cause obviously we're X's. So like I came up with a couple things like explore your zany or expect yummy and zany, obviously starting with the letter X, not E. Um, exit X's marks your fun spot, stuff like that. But there's some neat promotions. A little tip here. I think we're planning on incorporating baseball bingo at select games as well. You're probably familiar with that, Danny. Um, just some neat, engaging, interactive, fun activities, both on the field and also, and again, I don't know what's all been done, but in utilizing the video board more because that way everybody can participate, not just the 2 to 4 people on the field.
Right,
So
right.
I think that's what we'll look for there. But I got to preface this, Danny. Like the existing staff is already done a great job. They have a lot of neat ideas that they've been working on for months. So I'm not going to come up here and upset the apple cart, so to speak. But I just want to hopefully add on, maybe throw in a couple new things at least for this season, and then just building what we have. Um, but yeah, that's another thing. Here's another one, catch line for you. Big league thrills for a few small bills.
Like
So I
that.
don't know if we're going to
Like
use that for
that.
sure, but it's just the
I
way my
love it.
mind
I
works.
love it. The voice here is Travis Lee. I'm Dan Vaughn. This is Explorers Expresso. If you're on the podcast, we're glad you've hit the download button as well. You're watching us live. We're glad you're along here on this Wednesday. 65 days away, Travis. I would imagine there's some challenges sitting here on March 11th for you. What are the challenges you got in front of you? Probably a stack of papers on your desk, but challenges day
Yes.
65 away.
Yeah, so I guess the biggest challenge is wrapping up sponsorships. As many as we still have a handful out there that need to be completed, renewals, and then growing that sponsor list and growing that ticket base. That's the biggest challenge. It's the way I look at it, Dan, is yes, we're going to push, and try to get as much in on the books prior to the home opener on May 22nd. But you know what? That doesn't mean like the curtain closes all the way. We can still sell stuff, maybe even into late June for partial season packages. Once we get a chance for people to experience it that maybe haven't been out to the ballpark for a while. And I guess there's another big challenge is like, how can we get those people that either used to be here a lot or maybe have never been here? So we got to get them here first to get them, dare I say, hooked. And then, in reality, you're not going to have that many people that are going to come to 50 home games. Frankly, we love the people that do, but there's, just the world is so busy with families, kids' activities, the river, the lake, what have you, travel ball. But if we can get you here once and then hope you get you out here, say at least 6 to 8 times a season, then that's how we grow. I think that's the big thing. We just got to get you to try it, and then hopefully your fan experience is good. And now, when I say fan experience, that's not just yes. We want Mongo, Steve Montgomery. And everyone on here probably knows who his nickname, but we want him to put a quality product on the field, obviously. But don't tell him this, but like I want you to honestly almost not know whether Explorers won or lost when you left the ballpark because you had such a good time that like that's secondary. That's my job. He'll tell you different, um, but we want you to have a good time with the in-game promotions, the theme. Maybe it's we're calling it Tasty Thursday. It used to be Thirsty Thursday. Well, we want to include food also, so it'd be both deals on food and beverages. So
Yeah.
those types of things to bring you in. Obviously, we're doing fireworks on certain days. The souvenir Saturdays where the first 500 will get a cool promotional item. So a lot of those themes are going to carry on, but we're also going to add to a lot of those days. By the way, Sunday Fun Day is going to have a lot of stuff with it. Until I get those deals signed, I'm not going to let those out, but it's going to have a lot of layers to it.
Well, it's like the song says, if they don't win, it's a shame. We root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. I mean, and that is part of it. That whole attitude. Yeah, we want to win, but at the same time, hope we had a good time no matter what happens. So I totally get it here in
Yeah,
Explorers Express. So that's Travis Lee on the screen. If you're listening on the podcast, glad you're along. He's our new vice president and general manager of the Explorers. I'm Dan Vaughn with you here on this 11th of March. Um, Couple things, and you mentioned, and this is, I love to pick your brain about this a little bit. You mentioned going out and seeing clients and sponsors and try. What I've always said about our business, and this was what's unique about our business, is we can really do something for everybody, whether it be the mom, dad, the kids, or the big corporation. We
yeah,
really have a niche for every. I mean, there's something for everybody, whether it be There's just a lot of opportunities out there.
yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that. And then, I was super impressed with the Pilot Rock party deck. Couldn't
Yeah.
believe it when I kind of came on my interview. Like, wow, this thing is awesome. Because I'd been to a couple of games, but I hadn't ventured down that way, and it's very impressive. And I've been to a lot of ballparks, a lot of minor league games, and it is that's going to be a focal point. We really want to try to get obviously groups there to come out and have a great pregame meal, enjoy the game. And I'm not gonna lie, if I was there, I'd be the guy sitting there right there by that left field foul line. I would pounce on that picnic table right there and not move. That's just me personally, but
Hey,
um,
man, I'm with you, Travis. I'm with
yeah,
you. A couple things. Let's talk a little bit about. You talked about, we talked about a little bit. We had some front. I call it shuffling the deck a little bit. Some front
yeah.
office shuffling there. Emily Chucky was director of sales and marketing. Talk about a little bit about that situation.
Yeah, so yeah, we just so that's another thing. Along with my announcement today, we announced the promotion of Emily to director of sales and marketing. Honestly, I can't even remember what her title was before, but
Promotions, but yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
promotions and fan entertainment. So it's another way to she wears a lot of hats. But I will tell you, within my first 5 business days here, I could not believe all the things that she was bringing me that she'd been working on, from merchandise to promotional theme nights, um, other in-game promotion ideas, and then she's the primary corporate salesperson to this point. Now, I will tell you that's where I'm going to jump in a lot when I can, because that's my forte too. But she's done a tremendous job, and I saw like, wow, this person is extremely valuable. Like, talk to Tom here, the current VP GM, and then our owner John. I'm like, wow, this person is doing a heck of a job. Like they need some recognition here. So gave her a new title and some other responsibilities, and just very happy to have her on board. As well as Emma Distichter is our. We got to figure out her title for sure, but basically manager of ticketing and sales and ticket operations. We'll try to shorten up a title for her, but she's kind of taken on some additional duties as well. Since we had a departure from the team prior to my time here, so another person that was in the front office that was kind of more ticketing and group sales focus. So she's taken on a lot of additional duties too. So kudos to Emily on her promotion, and really thanks for Emma as well for all she's doing and the extra activities that she's taking on. So, but Emily, yes, I think she's going into her 4th season, so well deserved. Title, promotion and being recognized with a new title. So
Voice Travis Lee. Mine's Dan Vaughn. I'm the voice of the Explorers. He's our vice president and general manager here on this Wednesday edition of Explorers Express. So let's have some fun here. You've got family. You got
yes.
support group. You've got a background behind you. Those folks probably keep it going, I would think.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked about that, Danny. So I do have two children. Reagan, she is a freshman here locally. This works out great for me at Briarcliff University. Shockingly, a sports management major, at least for now. Um,
Shocking.
and yes, and she plays softball at Briarcliff on the JV team primarily right now. We're hoping to get that. Hoping she gets the call up to varsity here, maybe in the outdoor season, but we'll see how that goes. But I've really had a blast watching her games during the indoor season. And my son Sawyer, he's a freshman in high school at Vermilion. So the Vermilion Tanagers, about half hour up the road. So obviously, when I was at USD, he was my kids were in school in Vermilion, so he stays up there. And then I also have to make sure I mention my girlfriend Carrie. She's certainly my biggest fan support there. Wonderful lady. And by the way, happy early birthday, Carrie. It's her birthday tomorrow. So if she's watching, hopefully she sees this. And then
Happy
and her
birthday
10
to you.
year old son.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah. I'm not
Travis,
going to sing right now.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Carrie. Travis wouldn't sing.
I'll let you do it.
I know.
You have the voice. You have the voice, Dan.
Continue, Travis. I'm sorry to interrupt you there. Your wheels off there.
And she has a 10-year-old son, Oliver. So, and then of course, also my parents still living in my hometown of Viborg, which is a little over an hour north of here. And my brother, my only brother, lives up in the Viborg area as well. Ironically, he just sent me a picture. He's on his way to Cancun, so he's probably not having a chance to watch right now. But
that sucks.
Good for him.
That just sucks. Yeah, it just sucks. What kind of person is he? He's going to Cancun. We're just sitting around here doing this.
Well, I'll tell you. Here's all you need to know. He's a banker, and he's retiring at the end of the year. So that's all you need to know.
That's good.
He's coasting on the way out here.
Let's see here. A couple things here from the fan. By the way, if you guys do want to chime in live, you can on the live side. You can ask a couple questions. I've got, let's see here, Easton, who does a lot of work there at the ballpark, assistant clubby. Going to be a great year.
I met him last week. Yeah.
Great deal. John Williams says, welcome, Travis. Looking forward to meeting you this year. Let's see here. Also, Matt's asking a merchandising question, but he says, big man syndrome here. What about getting sizes larger than 3X in the team shop for sweatshirts, things like that? I'm sure that'll be something that you can put a note in your pocket.
I'll see what we can do about that. Yes.
John Witt, our clubby, says, let me say on the right account, welcome. Looking forward to working with you this year. Okay. And Jason says,
good,
I don't know what this is. What it is. I guess they're asking. They must be asking Easton, but who had questions are out. So you coming back? Well, yeah, I'm here, but I didn't know who they were talking about. But here at Explorers Express. So another thing is, this is sort of fun. You mentioned way early in the conversation that you were in Sioux Falls. Rumor has it you met a guy that resembles Bobby Post back in those days. If so, did you recognize Bobby when you saw him again?
Yes, right away. Right away. Now, I will say, both him and I have gained a little weight since the 90s. So, but yeah, no, I recognize him right away. And I think a lot, I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago, I was at a game as a fan, obviously. I was sitting over by the first base dugout, and Bobby was coaching first base. And I yelled at him, and he waved at me, and I think he was thinking, like, who the heck is that guy? But, because I was just shocked because I didn't realize, because I just moved down here from the Vermilion area, like, oh, I didn't know Bobby was, a coach here on the staff. So when I yelled at him, I think he just gave me the cursory wave, like, oh boy, I think that guy might have had too many beverages. I don't know.
Fan with beer 9. How you doing? Good to see you, right? It's one of those deals, yes. Travis. Well, here's one thing too here on Explorers Express with Travis Lee and Dan Vaughn. Here's part of it though. Bobby does a show on Sundays. Now, I may have mentioned this to you. I'm not sure. Now, Tom could come on Sunday broadcast, and he had his own theme song. We got to get a theme song for you as well, but I hope you'll come on just for just for fun here, because Tom actually Luke did our theme song. He did a great job with that. But
Yeah.
any favorite music out there I should be trying to find for a theme song for you? Your walk
Well,
up song, man. What's Travis Lee's walk up song? That's a good
I got
one.
to think about that. So I am a big country music fan. I mean, I love like '80s rock too. But now here's a little funny story. Like, so Sawyer Brown is my all-time favorite country group. That's obviously an older group, and
That's the
that's why my son is named Sawyer, at least according to me. And that's not so much his mom, but according to me. Um, so I have to think about that a little bit. There's a lot of, I like a little Gary Allen right where I need to be. That might be a good theme for me.
Yeah, I like that. Like, yeah, I
Um,
like Gary Allen. Sawyer Brown. Sawyer Brown did a great rendition of "Here Comes Pride in the Backstretch." Yeah, that love
oh, the
that
race is
song.
on.
Yeah,
Yes.
the race is
So
on, and
if you want to get technical, not a big of a hit, but the song by Sawyer Brown called Leona is
yep,
probably my.
yep.
I've actually told
Leon.
a friend if I'm ever in a coma, play that because I know I'll pop right out of the coma.
Well, I emceed a concert with them many moons ago at Midnight Rodeo in Lubbock, Texas. So I do know Sawyer Brown back in the
Yep.
day. Exactly. So I had
They're
the
still
old
going too.
country. Yeah, lost him for a moment there. Lost him there. Come log back in there. Just lost you there. Travis Lee here in Explorers Expresso. Sometimes that happens. He'll jump back on just a moment. And we will get him back in just a moment there. And talking Sawyer Brown there. And I've got a couple more things to get to before we let him go. But in case you are joining us late, Travis Lee's our new vice president and general manager, and he is. Here we go. Going to bring him right back in. Sometimes the internet gremlins do that. It's the beautiful world of internet, and sometimes it does that. Lost you for a moment there. I believe he's right back. Sorry about that.
I'm back. That's the good thing is I heard you the whole time. So
Oh, good, good. Oh, yeah, it's probably going in the background. Yeah, again, just telling the fans there as we're talking classic country. I noticed something, and I wasn't going to bring this up, but the more I thought about passion a moment ago, I'm going to ask it anyway because you and I share a little something, and I just realized it yesterday.
okay.
And when we've been trading emails back and forth, you and I sign off our emails basically the same way. Go X's. And
Yeah,
I
and I
always
was
say that on our broadcast. I always say it when we close the show. But I've always just typed that into my emails. It's a habit of mine. It's something that I like to do.
yeah
And I notice that Gummit Travis and I are like I'm reading my own email. It's
yeah
kind of cool. I
and I, yeah and I did
I
that to other emails before you. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
it's
I
interesting.
got so used to writing Go Yotes all the time, working at the University of South Dakota. So I'm like, yeah, it's a logical transition here.
Yeah, I just for some reason that stood out to me. I was like, wow, that just stood out to me and I think that just I guess my point is, Travis, is that it kind of you are into what you're into this thing, man. This is it's clearly obvious. So our
Yep.
conversations back and forth in this conversation right here, you are into this gig. You are into what is going on with the X's.
Yeah, and I love it. Like I was telling Carrie, I don't know if it was last night or night before. Like I just can't believe I get to wake up and I'm excited to go into the office. Um, and then when you need a break, it's, the business side of things is a challenge, and that is my role, the business side of the explorers. You know what? But I get to walk out this door and walk about 100 feet, and I am looking at a beautiful ballpark. By the way, our infield is already crazy green, which
I
you being a
heard.
Texas guy, that's pretty normal. But in March, like wow, it just gets me so fired up to just to play and just to have that mental escape, and it kind of just re-energizes me.
No doubt. A couple more things, two more things. We're round third, coming down that baseline here with Travis Lee, Dan Vaughn with you. Uh, I had fun stuff. We're talking about your walk-up song, but what do you when you're away from the ballpark? When you obviously the season's coming, so you won't get a lot of time away. But when you're away, uh, what's Travis Lee doing? What's he doing? What do you what? If I walked up the house and what would you be doing?
I'm just laughing
What would
because
you
I
be doing?
know I'm just laughing because my whole world is sports, and I'm trying to branch out a little bit. So what am I doing? If I'm at home, I'm watching sports on TV, and that kind of gets a little old for Carrie and some of the others in the household. So I try to do a few more documentaries and stuff to mix it up. But
There
a
you go.
big sport, huge college football fan. By the way, huge college football fan. College basketball a little bit. Really been getting into this World Baseball Classic.
Yep.
I'm a Minnesota Twins fan from a baseball perspective. LA Chargers, a little odd twist there for the NFL. I'm actually
That's a
not that big of
curveball I
a
didn't see. That's a curveball I didn't see coming
yeah,
right there.
I know that's usually a trick one to. I mean, I'm a Vikings fan too, but they've they broke my heart too many times, so they're like my secondary team.
Gotcha,
Uh,
gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha.
but no, just watching sports, and then frankly, outside of not being at home, almost always, at least up to this point, it is either at one of my daughter's travel softball games or my son's travel baseball games or basketball or he did play football, basketball, and baseball this year. He has been in track in the past, and just my kids' sporting events, and that's my pride, my passion. I'm kind of almost cracking up just talking about them right now. So
Get it,
just
man. I get it.
yeah, just being able to see your kids not only participate but excel just brings a lot of pride and joy to me.
Well, it sounds like you're fired up, and I love it. I love that. I'm going to give you, as we close here with Travis Lee here, give you a chance to sort of maybe if this was sort of a press conference for the fans, what would your closing thoughts be, maybe to the Explorers fans as we've made this move with you as the new VP and GM?
Well, I'm just gonna challenge the fans to couple things. Bring the energy like you're going to see from Mongo and myself and our staff, but more importantly, bring a couple friends. If maybe you have some friends or neighbors or relatives that maybe haven't been to a game in a few years, and we just want people to experience it. And we hope that give us a little time to win you over and win over some new people. That's the biggest thing I'd say is like bring some buddies, some family members, the kids, whatever the case may be, and we want to be able to provide a great time that's still easy on the family budget because we understand. I mean, it takes money to do anything, whether you're going out to eat at a local restaurant or going out to the movies or loading up the kids to go to the lake or the river. That all costs money, and we understand that. But we think we provide a great value, and we're going to have some incentives and certain days. That you're going to see that as far as both food and beverage and even ticket discounts for certain things. So just that's my what I'm asking. My challenge is like bring the energy and bring a friend.
Love it, because that's DV's always one of my things. I say, bring a friend, a neighbor. Always say it in the broadcast. Hey, tell the guy across the street, hey, we're going to the ballpark tonight. Would you come with us? We got an extra ticket. Come on with us
Yeah,
and see us. You tell a friend, I tell a friend. We're all telling friends. We're going to have more fun.
that's how we can grow. That's how we can grow.
Amen. Amen, Travis. Hey, Travis, welcome to Sioux City. I'm looking forward to working alongside of you and looking forward to seeing the things you're going to bring to us. And I love the passion, and I'm fired up. I think a lot of you see the comments there. They're fired up as well. And I look forward, and thanks for stopping by. I look forward to Sundays on the air with you. Sundays with Travis.
Yes, I'll work. I'll have to think about my walk up music a little bit, but
I'm gonna get you a walk up something, because if not, I'm warning you. If not, Luke will take over and he'll just do a generic. It's Travis time. It's Travis time. You'll be kind of like, what? That's what he did. Tom, because Tom didn't really give me a music selection, so I just said, hey, Luke, come up with something. So we'll get you something. We'll look forward to having you on that.
I'll definitely have some influence on that selection.
Yeah, Travis. Appreciate you. Welcome, my friend, and look forward to catching up with you.
Thank you, and excited to meet the fans and the host families. That's all an important part of it. So
Amen.
just looking forward to getting rolling here on short notice.
Appreciate you, man. Thank
All
you.
right, thanks, Danny. Appreciate it.
There he is, Travis Lee, right there, our new vice president and general manager, right there. Appreciate his time. Mongo's around the corner. Let's unwrap a few things here, okay? And I thought a couple things he said are very important. And you guys know I'm your eyes and ears, home and away. I thought his attitude about adding, right? We've got to, and I'm going to talk about this a bit as we close a bit later, as I salute Tom going out the door, so to speak. But adding, right? Adding. I learned a lesson a long time ago, back in my college days. I was all gung ho. I wanted to be, just sort of I want to change the world, right? But I realized sometimes knee jerk changes aren't always a good thing. And we've got a really good foundation. And you heard him talk about the passion of John and Mongo, and all these things are contagious. and there's no reason to derail that. Just add to it. I love that attitude. I loved his attitude. As you can tell, there's energy there, and that's contagious. Very contagious stuff. I look forward to it. And speaking of contagious, I guess he's contagious. I don't know if he's contagious. He's feeling better. I hope. I believe he's there. He is. I hope he's feeling better and not still contagious. Steve
Uh,
Montgomery, are you contagious? Are you feeling better, Mongo, my friend?
I got a little Kleenex, so I don't know. I'm just all we were detaching and doing some stuff on the field over the last couple of days, and I don't know if it's allergies, I don't know if it's sinus infection, I have no idea. And just blow your nose and move on.
There you go.
That's how
There
it
you go.
is. So, but I mean, I feel good enough to, you know, be here, and
Well,
you don't take many days off work, so.
no, you don't. Not in this business, right? But
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
first off, your reaction. You heard. We may have heard some of the interview a moment ago. You may have been across the room from Travis Lee, and I know he mentioned the field as well. But your thoughts on our new vice president, general manager. I know that you guys have you were knee deep in that process. I'm sure. What can you tell us?
Um, first off, I can't thank Tom enough for, the professionalism and everything that he brought to this organization. eh, 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 he, as the general manager here, you wear many hats, as you know. We all do because it's a smaller organization. So, um, I kind of teased Tom and I said, it's what the Sioux City Explorers do. We move people on. So he's taken another opportunity. We can't really talk about that opportunity right now. It's on the down low, but it's a big move for him, and I couldn't be happier for him. He's a guy who put his heart and soul into this organization for the last 3 years, and uh, put in a lot of time behind the scenes, and time that you know uh, whether it be us on the road or setting up, and just he just made my job able to be focused out on the field and not anywhere else. And I can't thank him enough for that. I think with his time here, we had 3 playoff appearances. So obviously, ticket sales have been up, group sales have been up. So he's done a good job. And that leads us into Travis. Travis is a guy who has some experience inside of the old Northern League. A guy who was at general manager. He's local. I think that's a huge bonus for us. When we were going through the process of everything, um, you know, he, uh, it just made sense. And he's a guy who is here every day. He's shadowing and learning, and and he's been in group sales, right, for University of South Dakota, and there was that connection there with our owner and stuff. So just to and I know he worked for Learfield, and my old clubby in Fargo was the Learfield lead at North Dakota State. So they knew each other. So, I mean, obviously there's a lot of familiarity there. And he's a guy who's wants to be here, wants to see it succeed and stuff. So, um, it's been a good transition so far. And like I said, getting back to Tom, I can't thank him enough for what he's meant to me personally and to this organization.
Bring with us here on Explorers Expresso here on this 11th of March edition. Dan Vaughn with you. Well, the hot stove was busy. You get a couple of guys added yesterday, a couple of younger guys in the name of Robert Hughes, Rob Hughes, which you pitched at Clemson of the Idaho Falls from that Pioneer League, and then Jordan Donahue out of the island of Hawaii. Young man out of college. Let's just start with the Hawaiian kid, Mr. Donahue. What are your thoughts on adding the young man from the island?
He's a guy that was at Oregon State for a year, and then portaled up and went to the University of Hawaii out with Coach Hill out there at Hawaii. He's a guy that brings tons of athleticism to the position. He's a guy I feel like could be a Vuletic type, right? Like, Vuli is an important piece to our team because he's a Swiss Army knife. This kid can bring that same sort of thing. His main position is shortstop, but if you look at him size wise and stuff, and when you're talking pro ball, more prototypical of that second base position. But he has the arm strength to play short. I'm sure I could put him at third. Uh, what's intriguing for me, left-handed hitter. You can't have enough of them. And he's a guy that, like I said, brings athleticism, throws from multiple arm angles, covers. He's very rangy, and he's a guy that I'm super excited to bring in. Agent that I deal with, I really trust the agent, and I know he's going to play the game the right way because with Coach Hill out at Hawaii, he was at San Diego. They played the game the right way. They play hard, and he's got a little bit of loft in his swing. You don't see a ton of power, but there's loft in the swing. So, I think he's a guy that can steal some bases as well. And obviously, Dan, we like to run the bases.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I
We've
want to
got
get. I do want to get in that wallet a little bit more.
Yes, the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Siouxland, folks. By the way, we're doing that again this year for every stolen base. For me, donating to the Ronald McDonald House. So make those plans right there. But a record-breaking stolen bases last year. Uh, in the left-handed stick thing is important. I know that you talked about that quite a bit this year. You felt like, in general, last year at times we were heavy right side oriented. This is huge flexibility for you.
Yeah, it is. And we have more flexibility on the backside that we haven't released yet. Right now, I believe. I think it's four switch hitters right now. I think we haven't released some of them, but I think we have four switches. Uh, and then a certain left fielder who hits left-handed, he might be coming back, and now you have Donahue, and we're gonna have a lot more flexibility, and I think that's important because there are times where you go into the game, and obviously how much we dig in, especially me. I dig inside the numbers. Where you're facing a guy that night or last year where no, righties hit 211, but lefties hit 330 against them. Boy, you'd like to have that flexibility of throwing in a lineup that has six or seven lefties. So, um, it just gives us a lot more flexibility, and I'm excited about it. Like, Vasquez Braulio is a switch hitter. Denton is a switch hitter. Uh, if we can get Knowles back, he might be a switch hitter. And then we have another one that's so we have some flexibility. I really like where we're at offensively right now. Um, I think we just gotta shore up the pitching. That's what everybody's doing right now. If you look, someone gets released, man. It's you're fighting. 24 different teams for one arm. I mean, that's just how it is right now in this market. So, but I'm excited where we are. I like the depth that we have right now, and we've added some middle type of order bats with a little more power, a little more double capabilities. Maybe not as fast. Might not be as fast as last year, but I think getting a Vuli, a Knowles, a Henry, a Davis, that was the bulk of our stolen bases, and now we've been able to add a Vasquez. We've been able to Denton can move, Donahue can move. And then you add in the Yorman, Wilfredo, Asensio, Buford. Buford's a guy too. He's got power, but he can run too. So I like where we're at right now, but job's never finished, and we're looking. Right when we get off the phone here, probably making some more calls.
Mongo's never on the phone. You never got things attached to your body, man. It's like part of your body.
Yeah.
Steve Montgomery with us here on Explorers Expresso. Dan Vaughn with you. Let's jump in. You mentioned pitching. We did add another arm as well. Rob Hughes, young man who was in the Pioneer League last 2 years, pitched
Hmm.
at a very high level. Clemson, another top tier ACC program in Division One. Right-hander. Another of those elevation guys, perhaps, going to make the jump to the. And there's been some pretty good track records in this department. Talk about Rob Hughes.
Well, actually, Dan Butler was at a a workout out in Arizona. He had let us know that he was going there. He really liked Rob Hughes, so um, he made that initial contact and stuff, and um, we were we were able to come to an agreement, talk to his agent and stuff. He's a guy that was at Furman University, and then Furman dropped the baseball program, so that's why he went to Clemson. He's a guy that's pitched in some high leverage situations at Clemson, and he's a guy that went to the Pioneer League and has put in work. And he's actually he he's really smart. Like he does something with the computer, like computer software and stuff. So he works for his dad's company and stuff. So just got to know him over the course of probably the last 2 months. And then was able to come to a contract agreement. I think he's a guy that has some flexibility in what role he could play. He's a guy that throws three pitches. So we could use him out of the pen. We could also start him. So I felt that that was a big flexibility piece for us getting him. And we had talked to we on the phone. We had talked to him about starting and about relieving. So we're just going to see what we can get our hands on. As you know, we have gotten real creative. If you look last year with Marmon and Williman being relievers, putting them in the rotation. So um, and Austin Drury, he wasn't a starter in pro baseball either. Neither was Weatherby. So, you just kind of you use partner league to kind of reinvent yourself and get another opportunity. And he liked the fact of the amount of players that we've been able to get back. And I was laughing with Travis. I said, not only are we moving players, but we're moving, front office people too. So it's just what we do. But I'm excited for Rob, and hopefully he can come in and no matter what role he's in, contribute to helping us win some baseball games.
Steve Montgomery with us on Explorers Expresso. One of the guys that did move along, and I know a lot's been talked about Austin Drury with Savannah Bananas, and that's a great deal. I'm excited for him. But I want to ask you about Cal Marmon because I love international baseball.
Uh huh.
He's actually in Taiwan now, ready to go. Have you heard from him, seen him, or not? Obviously, haven't seen him, but have you had a chance to text back and forth? What are your thoughts on his? It's a big deal going over there.
Yeah, it is. We're gonna have another guy that is going over to Taiwan as well. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say it. Angel is going to get an opportunity to go over there as well. I know I just talked to him on the phone. Probably, I think it was this past weekend, and uh, he had told me that he had come to an agreement with them. So, but I haven't had a chance to talk actually with Kyle. I talked to him before he left. I wished him all the best, all the good luck stuff and everything like that. But I do talk to his agent almost every day, if not every other day. I know that he was getting accustomed, right? They always worry about the jet lag part of it. I think it's 14 hours ahead of us right now. So it's like 2 or 3 in the morning there. Uh, but uh you know I haven't talked to him about like the transition, or I haven't been able. I tried to call him, and like I know that he was telling me he had to get like a SIM card and all kinds of crazy stuff. But I tried to FaceTime him the other day. I just thought it'd be easier if he's on the internet or something, but he didn't answer. But I'll give everybody an update, and I think it'd be cool if somehow this year we could get him on kind of like this show, and kind of go through like what, because listen, it's got to be a huge, not only change on the field, because they do things like they have an hour and a half calisthenics program,
Yeah,
like it's
yeah.
it's it's totally different, but just the style of play, obviously lifestyle away from the ballpark. I'm sure right now, I think we have iPhone 17s. They're probably iPhone 22s already over there. So, but
And, you,
it'd be interesting to get
Yeah,
that.
and from your experience internationally, you went to Australia where they speak the language sort of, but they're actually the same time as Perth. But it is having been to Japan the last 2 years myself, it is a little daunting when you don't speak the language and even close to speak the language, man. So
Well,
we will have to get him on for sure.
yeah, what I was amazed about with Australia is that obviously as an American, we love their accent. You know what I mean? But them with our accent, it is absolutely mind-boggling. Like they love our accent a
Yeah, yeah,
hundred times
yeah,
more
yeah,
than we like theirs.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
I would walk into a place and it was like as soon as you talk, it was like nothing was said. Like everyone's just looking at you. I'm like, wow, like it's crazy. But
It's like a scene from a
um,
movie. It's like a scene they used to look they still do this to me. They'll go, "We're trying to figure out where you're from, mate. Are you?" Because I have a little Southern, but a little Texan, but a little Midwest, and then I got a little Australian in me,
yeah,
and they can
you're a
never
mutt.
figure it out. They can never figure out where I'm from. They're like, "Are you
Yeah,
Canadian?" I'm going, "No, I'm not from Western Canada."
yeah, you're like a mutt. So you
Yes.
have a little bit of everything in you. Yeah. When I was over there, like I said, I'd love to figure out a way to just get back there and see, Shane Tonkin, and obviously the late Greg Jelks. I mean, I played with him, Clayton, Clado, all
Clay.
them guys. I would just Bernie, and I would just love to see them guys again because we won the championship that year. It was special. And I actually didn't get to celebrate with the team. I was on an airplane because I had to get
Yeah,
back for spring training. Got hit with a line drive in my ankle in the championship game one, and came out after 7 innings. So it was a lot, but that's when they used aluminum bats too,
yeah,
man. It was,
yeah,
whew,
yeah, yeah.
it was Greg Jelks with aluminum bat. Boy, I'm
That
telling
guy
you.
that guy can hit, and I've talked
Oh
a little bit about him over the years. I'd love to keep you longer. We've been a little longer today. We had a busy news day. Quickly, couple things. Wilfredo Jimenez back. That's exciting. A guy that he can receive it, man. That's a guy that
yeah,
can receive it. He's a guy that knows the program. I got the feeling he was one. Yeah, that calls the game right. That to you, that's a huge deal. Obviously, to call the right
huge.
game.
Huge deal. And then and then not only Wilfredo, right, and
Yeah, but
not taking anything away, but getting
you're
Yorman as well.
yeah,
His buddy, and I thought that was a huge get for us because right now it is a struggle to find upper level talent willing to still continue to play. So I thought it was important. Wilfredo brings us a backstop back there that we know, we trust. He knows the right fingers to put down, understands situations, when to pitch around people, when to attack people, and we're trying to get him some upper level arms to go along with it. So super excited, and obviously Yorman. If you look at his track record, he hits no matter where he's
yeah,
at.
yeah.
He hits, and he reminded me when you look at his bio, he reminded me of the Fargo. The Fernandez guy, smaller
Yeah,
guy,
Juan
five
Fernandez.
seven,
Yep,
five
yep,
eight,
yep,
yeah,
yep, yep,
five
yep,
eight.
yep,
He
yep.
can catch, play third, play second, play first, and he does it. He does it all. So he's another Swiss Army knife, like we talked about. But he's a guy that hits 300 at every level he's been.
Yeah, Nate Gherkin even says the pitching staff loves Wilfredo. So yeah, Gherkin chiming in right there here in Explorers Expresso. Dan Vaughn with you. Yeah, again, Wilfredo Jimenez and Yorman Rodriguez. Final thing, Mongo, before I let you go, are you watching the World Baseball Classic? And if so, are you mad at Team USA?
Are you kidding me? Like an absolute joke. And it is mind-boggling to me that you can think that you clinched. It's I am just mind boggled right now. I if they don't advance, it could ultimately be maybe the biggest failure in international baseball history.
Absolutely.
It, it
I thought about too, Mongo. This is what I thought about in that press conference. How many times are you and I in our pregame interviews, and we're like down the stretch in August, and we know every scenario, every type. We talk about this for you and I doing interviews. So I know you know. I know Bobby knows. I know Ralph
mhm,
knows. I know Dan. I mean, you guys talk about this stuff.
yeah.
How is that not discussed? I have no idea.
I, I don't know, like, because I know Eric Campbell. Eric Campbell has
Yeah.
run USA baseball for a long time. There's no way that's his blunder. No way. So because Eric, when I played for Team USA back in 2002, he was running every scenario by us, right? Everything, and to the staff and to everything. Like he was involved. There's no way Eric Campbell did this. There's no way. So that tells me that it's not really Team USA running this. It's Major League Baseball.
Right.
That's
Right.
who's running this.
Yeah.
And for them to make this blunder, it. And if I'm Mexico and Italy, you don't think I'm having a private conversation before the game?
You
Oh,
know,
absolutely. I am. Hey, let's just get to the ninth, and it don't matter. 1-0. Let's just do what we need to do. One run, and we'll call it good. 1-0 game. You, I, I am mystified. I'm blown away. And then for them to come out in the media and say it yesterday, and then now it's played, and it it'll be the laughing stock of
well,
international baseball for the next 20 years until I'm no longer here. They will talk about the 2026 World Baseball Classic and how everybody that was involved in it screwed up.
Mongo, appreciate you. Busy show, and we will chat with you down the road. Go back to making those phone calls and get feeling better too, sir.
All right. I appreciate it, Dan. Thank you very much.
Steve Montgomery, manager of the Susan Explorers, joining us here on Explorers Expresso. There, as we got to wrap things up here. It's the long one. We had a lot of things to get to. Again, in case you missed the first part of the show, let's go back to what we talked about. First off, Travis Lee is our new vice president and general manager. He was announced about an hour and change ago. Welcome, Travis, to the team. So happy to have him back, or have him back, have him with us. He's been around. It's not like he's not worked for us before. You guys know what I meant, right? Again, you guys get it, right? I mean, Travis Lee, looking forward to having him again taking over. And again, my unpacking of it, as I said earlier, for Travis, and I think that I mean, there we go. There's a good shot of him right there. Um, I'll unpack it again. Mongo, I think, summed it up as well. Just what we've got going forward. You could tell Travis is fired up, and I think that's a big thing. I mentioned earlier he's going to add, and it fits along with the passion. I know that one of the things that Tom Backmar always talked about how much he loved being a part of an organization that tries to win. He loved that part of it. I know that Travis is going to love that. He's also going to try to do some things to heard those things, the excitement. It's that energy, it's that passion, and again, it goes back to ownership. To you heard Steve Montgomery, Bobby, Raph, Dan, Brucey, you name it. Hopefully myself, hopefully that you hear on our broadcast and all what we're doing here, the passion, the excitement, what we love, man, we love it. And I hope it's contagious. And like Travis said, just tell somebody, bring somebody right there as we here close out things on Explorers Express. So one thing I want to get to as well quickly before we're going to get to the international stuff. We're not going to get to all that. We're hiring. Yes, we are. We're hiring ushers, concessions, press box, camera, team store, box office, ticket takers, you name it, we're hiring them right now. Go to the X's website, xsbaseball.com. Employment is the opportunities. I don't have the link to you right here. I probably should have put it up there, but you guys can go to the website, xsbaseball.com, pull that up. There's all the information right there. And just again, concessions, press box, camera, team store, box office, ushers, ticket takers, really the backbone of our nightly operation. Great people. We've got a great team there. Some really good people that have been over the years working for us for many years. And I love seeing them. I can't wait to see the baseball family here in a few weeks. So looking forward to that. If you want maybe more information, call the ballpark 712-277-9467. Mention the new players. We got that. Also, the podcast usually has the bonus content, but because this show went so long, I'm not going to have time to put bonus content on because it'll be the world's well, not longest podcast, but a pretty long podcast. So we're going to dispense with that. So we'll skip it this time around. You can, of course, go to our podcast page. And in case you're wondering, well, what is that, DB? Where's our podcast page? Well, we've got a podcast page on Buzzsprout. You can go there. It's got all of our episodes. We had a really good reception last time. We're approaching 100 downloads, which is for our little show, it's a pretty big deal. So that was put up in the chat right there. If you guys are listening to the podcast, you already know this. You already know where we're at, but I'm going to put it up in the chat anyway. A couple more things to get to as well. Just quickly, some names in the association I want to get to. All right, so it's a couple names. First off, Jorge Bonifacio was signed by Cleburne. Remember, he was in Kansas City. A couple of highlights here. Nick Shumpert is now in the league again. He was actually was traded to Evansville, but brought back to the league via Lincoln. So he's going to be in Lincoln this year. So welcome Nick back. Also, Bryce Arnold was transferred to the Cleveland Guardians from Winnipeg. We like to see players chase those dreams around the league. Josh Mordka back in Kansas City was a big part of their rotation last year. He signed as well. Jabari Henry up the road in Sioux Falls. He's back. The all-time home run King Jabari will be back. King Henry back. Good to see him back in the league as well. Another big move that you may have missed, Andres Diaz was traded from Gary South Shore to Chicago. They get an ace right there. And Gary's ace going to Chicago for future considerations. Ray Patrick Didier, who's playing for the Dutch national team, is back with Winnipeg. Weston Muir in Kane County with those Kane County Cougars will be playing in that Champions League in a couple weeks' time. Charlie Hasty, the closer for Sioux Falls, he's back in Sioux Falls. And Sam Dexter, the captain of those Fargos, is now in King County. So Dexter going from Fargo to King County. And then Landon Barassa back in Winnipeg, member of Team Canada as well. Trevor Achenbach in Sioux Falls, another name. There's a lot. I'm just highlighting the names you would know. There's a lot of other names in there, but those are the names you would know. Tyler Grauer back in Fargo, and I think that gets you all caught up. Josh Raywald as well gets you all caught up here on Explorers Expresso, the league news there in the American Association. Again, the podcast link is there in the chat, so you can do that. A couple more things I want to get to as we close out here. And I'd be remiss. First, Henry George approves of the hasty signing. There's that. Yeah, there's that. Sorry, but very good. John's still paying attention. I love that. Where were we? Oh, yes. Sorry about that. Closing things out here. A couple more things to get to. Oh, yes. I mentioned earlier Tom Backmeyer, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention giving him the best because this guy came in very similar situation to where Travis is coming. He came in a different situation. He came in at a time where there was a little transition that was sort of up in the air. If you recall, after the 22 season, there was a lot of changes that went on. And Tom came in, stabilized the organization, brought a new professionalism to the organization that maybe you guys had not seen. Maybe you had seen it, but I mean, Tom brought a certain professional, I call it button down approach, which I respect immensely. Tom righted the ship. I mean, there'd been some troubled waters, and Tom came in, settled things down, brought a really good team together, worked well with Steve Montgomery as you heard Mongo talk about. And I think would be remiss if we didn't salute Tom and tip the cap to him, thank him for his time. Tom's not leaving sports; he's staying in baseball. That announcement's forthcoming down the road, but Tom's going to get a chance to chase some dreams, if you will. And I wish him the best. He was very good to me, very good to my wife. I enjoyed getting to know him. Just really, what you want to do is, and let's just say, for example, someday I'm no longer there in Sioux City. I'd like to know that I left my spot better than when I found it. It's much like life, right? Your footprint of life, you want to leave that footprint where you leave a place, this world, for example. I want to leave this world better than I found it. Now, it may be a small percentage, but something. Tom Backmeyer did just that. And we're going to miss him. And John says it right there. We're going to miss him. One of the best. But I want to wish Tom Backmeyer the best. Tom, thank you for being great to me and to my family, and a big tip of the cap to you, and wish you the best. You're going to be missed, but we know that Travis is going to take that ball and run with it. We're going to add to what Tom has done, and I appreciate you, Tom. Much love to you in hoaxing the wink kiss as well to Tom Backmeyer there on Explorers Express. I want to close things out with one more thing, and a lot of you folks know my mother passed away two Fridays ago. Mom never missed a show. Never missed a broadcast. My mom caught every broadcast of the Explorers last year that she did. I mean, she dang nearly, probably, I'd say 95% of them she caught. She'd be watching my brother firsthand coach football, and she'd be watching the Explorers on baseball.tv. She'd watch this show. She would comment on this show. She loved Mongo and Bobby. She loved Tom, loved the organization. And going to be a hard season for me, but I'm looking forward to seeing you guys because I believe through times of pain and broken hearts, what gets us through it. Pardon me, if I obviously trying to keep in the rails here. what gets us through these tough times is not so much, well, first off, it's the man above. And secondly, it's those people around us that love us. I know the beer leaders reached out, and I want to show you guys this. Sorry, it's not on screen here, but this is an example of what I'm talking about. This is why I know this summer my mother will be tuned in and she'll be a part of things. And I know I'll get through this summer without her being on the other end. Well, I mean, my mom would text me, tough loss tonight, or yeah, we won tonight. I mean, she was tuned into every game. I mean, every game my mom was on pins and needles. And she'll be still tuning in for a better seat. But I want to thank all of y'all who reached out to my family and I, who gave us love and support, especially the beer leaders who did this fine thing right here. The beer leaders, great job right there. This, you see a shot of my wife and I. There's my mom and Max. Of course, we lost Max back in January. But this is what it's all about. You guys, the fans of the Explorers, the passion you have. And again, it all goes back to what we talked about with Travis Lee. The passion of the X's fans. We're not the biggest market, not the biggest ballpark, but we have passion. We have love for each other. And that's what we encourage. And that's how I will get through this 26th season. I'm going to get through it no matter what. But there'll be times I'm going to want my mom to text me, but I know I got her here. And I also got you guys as well because you're showing love and we're loving each other and we're loving our ball club and we continue to have that good, positive vibe going forward. So there we go. Family it is. John, you're right. Family it is. And yeah, it's been a hard one, but we're going to bury my mom this weekend in West Texas. And then my wife and I will escape, not to Cancun, but close, just down the road actually in Belize. But I'm not going to rub that in. It's my wife and I's annual vacation. We're looking forward to it. Yeah, I appreciate you very much, John. Appreciate everybody out there as well for stopping by. Thanks to Travis Lee, our new vice president and general manager. Thanks to Tom Backmeyer for all you did as well. Also stopping by today, Steve Montgomery. You can never have enough Mongo in your life, right? We need more Mongo. More Mongo. We need a shirt. More Mongo. For you folks who stopped by for 5 minutes the entire time, the reason I do believe we are the best because you're all the best, the fans of the Sioux City Explorers. And we always do a Go X's, right? You guys ready for Go X's? Everybody got their hands ready? Everybody ready to go? Hope I got the close queued up. Let's get this ready to go. All right. Our next show, 2 weeks' time. It'll be coming up on the, what is that, the 18th? Is that correct? Is that my correctly? Yeah, no, I'm sorry. The 25th. 25th. 18th, again, I'll be gone. But the 25th, our next show will come right your way. Then we'll start doing every week then. We'll be every week up until opening day 2026, which is 65 days away. All right, ready, go X's time. Here we go. Everybody ready? Ready to go? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go X's. I'll see you next time, everybody.
Well, it's baseball time in Siouxland once again. The Explorers are out to bring home another win. And when they take the field, they'll be hitting and running and stealing. So come out to the park for that big league good time feeling. Well, it's baseball Sioux City style. Baseball Sioux